G'day mate, Luke Ford here, your moral leader. You can just call me Moral for short. So I'm thinking about an anecdote I've talked about frequently. Warren Buffett, whenever he thinks about a stock and it causes his back to hurt, he sells the stock. Because his back is giving him a signal. If you think about people who make your back hurt, just thinking about them, then that's giving you a signal that they're bad for you. Okay, good people make you feel good, bad people make you feel bad. Shorthand guide to people right there. Psychopaths, sociopaths, narcissists, borderline personality people, cluster B personality disorder people, they make you feel bad. So you want to stay away from them. People who make you feel good generally tend to be good people. So we're 4.5 hours out from Yom Kippur. What a perfect time to talk about back pain. So I was getting annoyed today. I had these things that I needed to get accomplished, these various technical issues, and I was having some problems, and I was getting irate, and I wasn't getting appropriate service and feedback from people I was interacting with. And so as the day went along, I was getting in quite a nasty mood, like looking forward, like using my rhetorical abilities to put other people on the defensive, as I've done throughout my life. Yeah, I was just looking forward to getting stuck into people and like, your service is horrible, it's dishonest, it's inept, it's incompetent. Those are the things I was wanting to say. When would we be honored by a reply from you? This sort of haughty, snotty attitude. That's what I was getting into today. Yeah, and so what the hell is going on? And what does this have to do with back pain? Okay, so you never get into a bad mood, you never get into an impatient, angry mood without denying reality. Okay, from a 12-step perspective, all upset. The entire 100% reason we get upset is because we deny reality. Sounds something Buddhist about that too, but I'm not acquainted enough with. Buddhism says that all suffering is expectations unfulfilled. So yeah, it does kind of fall in with that. And similarly, Alexander Technique has a teaching that all opinions are just unnecessary muscular tension. And so to now borrow from cognitive therapy, all our bad feelings are caused by how we analyze reality. So I think there's a through line through all these approaches to life. So I learned in cognitive behavioral therapy that there's A, the activating event, and then there's B, our brain or our thinking, and then there's C, the result. And so whenever we're mad, sad, angry, pissed off, depressed, it's always because we're denying reality. And when we deny reality, because we're out of touch with reality, we can't help but tense up. So from an Alexander Technique perspective, back pain results overwhelmingly, unless there's something structurally wrong, back pain results overwhelmingly from unnecessary muscular tension. Almost all muscular pain, back pain, neck pain, headaches, shoulder pain, arm pain, hip pain, almost all of these pains are caused by unnecessarily muscularly contracting, tightening our muscles, compressing. And we do that involuntarily, and we usually don't realize we're doing it. But the good news is, if we're doing this tightening, tensing of our muscles, if we're shortening our muscles through worry, concern, anger, all these negative emotions, or just our habits of compression, then we can learn to release these muscular contraction patterns and thereby let go of most of our muscle pain or all of our muscle pain. I rarely have muscle pain. I rarely have back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, head pain. I just glide through life most of the time. And if you watch my shows, I'm a pretty serene guy. I've done thousands of hours of live streams, never had to take down anything because I regretted what I said. Now, there are things that I regret saying, but they weren't so regretful, so significant that I felt the desire I got to take that down. Okay, so I don't tend to get triggered. I tend to glide through my shows, glide through life, and in large part because of the Alexander technique. But I think there's a lot to what John Sarno taught. Famous guy, I think, with regard to back pain, probably perhaps the most effective approach to back pain. And his approach is that it's primarily emotional, and once you work through the emotions, that the back pain would just disappear on its own. So he's written a lot of best-selling books on back pain, and I agree with him. So the Alexander technique approach is different in that we're looking at it in terms of the results of the emotions that come from denying reality. He's just attacking the problem at a different place. He's attacking the problem at the root of denying reality, the emotional root of that, such as when they encounter a stimulus, they then will typically react in a similar way no matter the stimulus. It just depends on the degree of the stimulus to the degree to which they develop severe muscular holding, tightening, and compression patterns. But you can look at it just from the emotional point of view. Which parts of reality are you denying right now? So, for example, I was denying today that I had power over how other people reacted to me. I just couldn't accept they weren't getting back to me as quickly as I wanted. I was denying when you try to get things online that the entity that I was dealing with not be in control here, because the information that I saw by a third party had inputted the information in a certain way, then no matter how awesome their platform, I was not going to be able to buy the information that I wanted. So I'm not in control of all these things. And by denying that I'm in control, by demanding that other people act reasonably, I'm just making myself upset and then turning nasty, which then precipitates other people reacting in a nasty way to me. And you have a downward spiral there. And you'll always feel all this in your back. Okay, you never get to a depressed way of thinking without depression kind of rippling through your musculature and your voice like this. When you're up and free, you got upward direction rippling through your musculature, you're not going to be depressed. Okay, to really get depressed or angry, you have to pull down like this and kind of get into the modified version of the fight and flight reflex. Okay, from this position I can get angry, okay? But when I free my neck, think up, send upward direction through my back, releasing my shoulders to the side, I can't get angry, can't get depressed like this, can't lose my cool, can't get any extreme emotion when I'm properly in alignment with the best use of myself. To get angry, I've got to, okay, here I can get angry. You want to see angry? I can get angry right now. We can do angry from this position. We can do depression from this position. We can do hopeless, despairing. Oh, it's no use. Oh, I'm the victim here. I've been screwed over again. See, I can get into all those emotions from that position. But as soon as I come back to my length and my width and let go of unnecessary muscular holding patterns in my face and my forehead, allow my forehead to be free, around my eyes to be free, and my lips to be free, then I just can't access those feelings of depression, anger, resentment. Okay, once again, okay, here I can get angry and resentful. Here, there's no way I can get angry and resentful from this position. So if someone like cuts me off right now in traffic and you see me explode in rage, start cussing them out, you'll notice that I will tighten, pull down, compress, and my neck will tighten, compress, and my head will go forward and my shoulders will ride up. I'll go into that fight and flight reflex. Okay, if I erupt in rage if someone cuts me off. You never erupt in rage while you're lengthening and widening. Okay? While you're getting taller and wider and more free, and you're dropping unnecessary muscular holding patterns, you just can't access the feelings of rage, resentment, despair, depression. They're just not accessible. Every emotion depends upon a particular alignment of the body. You're not in a particular alignment, you won't be able to access those emotions. So you'll see some actors with muscular tension patterns that they can't let go of. For example, they're not able to properly access joy and freedom and release. So they can play depressed, they can play failure, they can play struggle, but they can't convincingly portray someone who's happy and joyous and free because they can't escape the web of their own muscular tension patterns. So, back pain, by and large, is telling us something. Shoulder pain, by and large, is telling us something. Neck pain, by and large, is telling us something. And one way I would describe it is denial of reality. All bad feelings come from denying reality. And so, we're often taught as kids that we should learn patience. We should develop patience. You can't. Okay, the need for patience arises only after you've denied reality and you've become impatient. Okay, as long as you're accepting reality, you don't even need to be patient. You're just in a state where you're completely free from impatience. So as you become impatient, irritable, discontented, angry, resentful, and depressed, it's because you're denying reality. When you accept reality, these emotions just drop away. So there are two types of thinking that are most likely to create patterns of unnecessary muscular tension. And with these holding patterns comes back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, jaw pain, TMJ. Okay, two ways of thinking. One, thinking I've got too much to do and not enough time to do it in. So I gotta rush. Okay. This is what this looks. I've got too much to do and not enough time to do it in. Okay, you gotta pull down into that. Gotta get into that fight or flight reflex. I've got too much to do and not enough time to do it in. Okay, you're gonna feel lousy. You're gonna have back pain, usually with that type of thinking. You're not gonna move very smoothly. And then the other type of thinking that develops unnecessary muscular tension is, I gotta be perfect. Okay, so if you ever start thinking, I gotta be perfect, or I got too much to do and not enough time to do it in, you're gonna start tightening, compressing. Your performance is going to be decreased. You're not going to be nearly as efficient, as graceful. You're not going to be at ease with yourself and with other people. Consequently, you'll be much more likely to provoke other people into resisting you. You'll be much more likely to get into needless conflict with others. You'll be much less likely to perform efficiently. You'll be much less likely to get the job done and to do it well. So you'll see in golf and tennis and gymnastics and most sports that people who appear the most free and easy in their bodies with the least unnecessary muscular tension generally perform the best, such as is it Roger Federer, the tennis player? I think he's in his mid to late 30s, but everything he does, it seems, with such ease. So ice skaters who are moving easily invariably do better than those who are struggling and trying and grunting and tightening and compressing. So I still get into these habits of thinking, absolutely. Even though I teach Alexander technique and try to teach actors how to break out of these modes of thinking, so I get in and think, oh, I've got too much to do and not enough time to do it in. So what are ways of reframing that thinking? I'm only human. I live in reality. I embrace reality. I'm going to get done what I can get done. And I accept my humanity. I accept that I'm not a divine being, that I can't be in two places at once. And I'm just going to do my best, operating within a pattern of ease and freedom. I think that's probably a better way of reframing it. I'm only human. Can't be superhuman. I'm just going to do my best and let's see what happens. There's a saying that there are 3 ways to approach a social engagement, a job interview, an audition. 1 is to come in with the attitude of F you. 2 is to come in with the attitude, please save me. And 3 is to come in with the attitude, let's dance. Let's do this, let's see what happens. Obviously, the last result is most likely to work for you, and you'll be at your best operating with that approach. I have a friend who's a writer and producer in Hollywood, and he typically gets migraines after casting sessions because the actors are just so needy. They just radiate so much neediness that gives him a contact migraine. So obviously you go into the world and you radiate neediness. People aren't going to be thrilled to have you around. Like, people are just going to start keeping their distance. So people want to get rid of their back pain without accepting that 98% of the time they cause their back pain through denial of reality and unnecessary muscular tension patterns that result from denial of reality. So rather than recalibrate their thinking, they'd rather find someone who will come along and take care of the problem, like a chiropractor. So the chiropractor will crack them. They'll immediately feel better. Typically within 24 hours, all the benefit of the chiropractic session is gone, because all your habits of thinking and moving, all your habits of compression and tension when dealing with a stimulus, they are completely unchanged by a chiropractic session. It's the thinking that's creating the unnecessary tension patterns that lead to back pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, unnecessary conflict with others, emotional agitation. So my goal for today is to accept reality. God, grant me the power to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That's what I want. I want the courage to accept the things I cannot change, the power to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And if I can live that, the Serenity Prayer, then I've got a very good chance of just gliding through life. I was talking to someone in the program this morning about my compulsive need to prove. Narcissistic personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder. And what you do in 12-step programs is that you, with personalities, what you do in a 12-step program is that you retrain your instincts to let go of the instinctual habits and reactions that don't serve you. So we all have these three basic instincts: sexual, social, and security. And if you're an addict, they're out of alignment. You are prioritizing satisfying one basic instinct at the cost of your well-being and of your ability to get along with other people. So through working the 12 steps, being in the program, you retrain your instincts so that they start lining up with what's good for you rather than what's bad for you. So, for example, you may have an instinct as, oh, I gotta go hit on that chick. I gotta go hit on every attractive woman who comes along. I just gotta give it a shot. If I proposition every one, then I'll likely succeed with 5%. Or, I mean, that's how I used to think. But obviously, that got me into a lot of trouble. The women I'd succeed with were often, well, they were always as equally damaged as I was. So I was bringing a lot of chaos into my life. I was offending a lot of people needlessly. I was wrecking my reputation in the community. I was ill at ease with myself, with my God, with my religion. I was just all out of balance, all out of whack. So in a 12-step program, I learned to recalibrate these instincts, kind of retrain them, so that doing what is in my best interest, which is living a life of service to others, that's what feels good. That's where my instincts want to go. And I recoil from the compulsive, addictive behavior of yesterday as if I was about to touch a hot stove. Like, why would I want to go back down into my instincts that destroyed my life? Fuck.